back to my channel. Today's look is a highly requested video from you guys. It is this makeup look right here. This picture was actually retweeted by Jaclyn Hill, and I totally flipped out for like 2 days because she's the whole reason I got into makeup about 4 years ago and actually decided to put myself out there about 2 years ago. So it was really exciting, and I got a lot of requests on Twitter and Instagram and even some on Facebook to recreate this look. So I've already obviously done my eyebrows. I primed my eyelids. I used the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 20, and I put it all over my eyes, and I set my eyes with the RCMA No Color powder. I'm actually going to be looking at my Instagram post to do it exactly the way that I did it for this picture, and the techniques that I used. I will also be looking at my phone because I unfortunately did not get a color card with the Jaclyn Hill palette, but that's okay because I've almost memorized all of the shades. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the palette, just in case you haven't seen it, but I highly doubt you haven't. So this is beautiful. This is literally an amazing palette, and I have this really hard time even believing that I'm going to go back to my other palettes. I will, but it will be very hard because I will expect the greatness that comes from this palette. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in on my eyes so you can see exactly what I'm doing and where I am placing everything, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we went ahead and zoomed you guys in on this mug. So for this look, I actually did something a little bit different that I don't normally do, and what I mean by that is I usually do my eyebrow highlight last. That's just what I've always done, and this time for some reason something came over me and was like, girl, do that eyebrow highlight first. So that's what I went ahead and did. I did the eyebrow highlight first. So we're going to start with that. So the first colors that we're going to be using are these two right here. This is in Light and this one is Beam. They actually look kind of matte in the palette, but let me tell you, there's nothing matte about these. And I am going to be taking it on this little brush right here. There is no name, but that's what it looks like. It's a small little dome brush. So I'm going to be mixing a little bit of Light and a little bit of Beam. So I'm going to place this initially at the high point of my eyebrow because I want that to be the most like bam. And then I am going to diffuse it out to the tail. I'm just going to put this out here. If the lighting changes throughout this video, I'm so sorry. I am filming with natural lighting, and that is why it is changing. You can see that highlight already. It is beaming, so I'm just going to take a little bit to my inner corner, but I just am going to like lightly touch it there. For the transition color, I am using a Wet n Wild, I believe this is they called it a crease brush, but it's definitely a blending brush. And I'm going to be mixing Silk Cream and MEFO Made for Each Other, which are these two right here. Just a little bit of each one, and I'm going to be placing this all over my upper crease in my transition area. I like to start in the middle of my eye, placing the most product. So I feel like it distributes the product evenly when you place it directly in the middle. And I am going to blend it up into that eyebrow highlight. I don't normally do an eyebrow highlight first, but for some reason so much more beautifully. So another little tip and trick that I've learned is when I come to blend my shadow into my inner corner, to raise your eyebrow so you can really get in there. And that little tip has definitely saved my life. We're going to use windshield wiper motions and little tiny circles. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking this goat hair brush. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to be taking the shade Butter, which is this color right here. And I am going to be placing this in my upper crease. Again, placing the majority of the product in the middle. And I like to tilt my brush up like this instead of going in like this because these little edges right here are tapered, so it's going to actually soften it out and not leave such a hard line. So that's, and I like to tilt my head back just a little bit just so I can see this upper crease. It's like where that bone is. And I'm going to be kind of flicking it out just a little bit, not much. So up in the upper crease. Like I said, we're going to kind of bring it out just a little bit, nothing too crazy. Next, I'm just going to take that blending brush from earlier with no additional product and just blend out to make sure there's no separation and everything is beautifully blended. Okay, so the next color, I'm going to be using the same brush, and I am going to be using this color right here, and this color is in the shade Hunts. It's a beautiful, like, terracotta red. It's gorgeous. For the next colors, I'm going to be using Hunts with a little smaller goat hair brush. I'm going to actually be using the color Hunts again, just to put it right in that crease, get it a little bit tighter, and really help define the crease. Putting it in the upper transition mixed with butter helps it transition a little bit better, but I really do want a more defined crease, and I'm actually going to be using another color in my crease as well, so Hunts is actually going to help transition it into the upper crease. Okay. I'm going to be taking that other goat hair brush just to soften it up in the inner corner and along the edges. So I'm going to be taking this dark red color here, and this is in the shade Jax, and we're going to be tapping into it again with the same brush, tapping off excess, and this is really going to help define the crease. For this, we are going to be taking it in, but the majority of the product I want to have in the middle towards the end. Alright, so the next thing we're going to be doing is the lid color, but first we're going to be laying down a base. I am going to be taking the NYX Jumbo Pencil in the color Black Bean. This blue, I don't want it a super light blue. I want it to be more true to color and still have that dark sultry, and that's why I'm going to choose to use a black base instead of a white, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to take it and put it on my lid. I'm going to keep it lower to the lash line, because I don't really want it going up too high. I'm going to go ahead and take this e.l.f. concealer brush. So I'm going to be taking this little concealer brush. I'm going to put a little bit of product on it, and I'm going to really try to get it into my inner corner. I have weird shaped inner corners, so sometimes I have to like pull on my nose just a little bit just to really get in there. And I'm also going to use this brush to help move the product around. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be on there. So after you get a nice, good, thin base that's somewhat blended out, I like to take just a little bit more product on the concealer brush and put it on the middle of my eyelid, because I really want the middle to pop the most. Now for the eyelid color. So we are going to be using this beautiful, beautiful blue right here in the shade Twerk. So I am going to be starting off with this e.l.f. C brush, and I'm just gonna pack on as much of this color as I can to start off with. And I'm just going to be pressing and not wiping. Next, I'm going to be taking this Wet n Wild brush. I think it's a concealer brush. I wish they would put the names on it, because once you throw the packaging away, you have no idea what they're called. So I believe this is the concealer brush. I'm going to be taking it and a tiny bit of my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray, and I'm going to wet my brush just a little bit. And I'm going to be taking the wet brush and dipping it back into Twerk, picking that color up, and really packing on the color. I'm going to push and kind of pull just a little bit. So you'll see, push. Like so. So a little push and a little pull. Okay, so now that that color's packed on, we're going to be taking this thinner, more stiffer goat hair brush and the color Jax again, this color right here, and we are going to help blend that blue shade so we don't have that really harsh line. And I'm not going to take the color past here, so that's about as far as it's going to go. We're going to take the larger goat hair brush just to help blend out that edge. The next is going to be the outer corner of the eye. I used this domed goat hair brush here, this little skinny pencil-like brush, and I'm going to be using this color right here in the shade Soda Pop. So I'm going to take it on this dome goat hair brush, tap the excess off, and I'm really going to just push it into this outer corner just to darken it up and bringing it into the crease just a tiny bit. I'm going to take that little pencil-like brush and dip it into Soda Pop as well. And this is when I'm going to start putting it more in my crease, and I'm literally going to keep it from like here down. I'm going to take the tiny brush with a little bit of Jaclyn on it, and I'm just going to little tiny sweepy motions to really blend that. And then we're going to take the big brush that we initially, with no product on it, and just to help blend it out. Now that we got it nice and smoked out, I'm going to go ahead and take that Wet n Wild concealer brush again with a little bit more Twerk, just to help make the look pop a little bit more, and anything that was blended off that needed to really pop. Okay, so now we are done. So the next thing we are going to do is we're going to take that brush that we use to highlight our eyebrow with, and we're going to dip in Beam and in Light, and we're going to highlight our inner corner. So now I'm going to put on a little bit of eyeliner. I'm just going to be lining it just so that you can't see the band of my eyelash. And then I'm going to take the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Black Bean once again. I'm going to tight line my eyes. I find this one is the easiest one that doesn't make my eyes watered that bad. Alrighty guys, so I have my lashes on now. I have the top mascara on as well. I use the Tarte's Light Camera Lashes. Now I'm going to do my face. Nothing really has changed with my face, so I'm not really going to show it on camera. But once it's done, I'll get it back on and we'll do the lower lash line and the lips and we'll be done. So I'll see you guys shortly. Alright, so I am so sorry, but my camera did not film me doing my lower lash line. So I'm just going to go ahead and explain the steps as if I was doing them again. I took my brush that I used Jaclyn Hunt's in my crease, and I put a little bit of Jaclyn Hunt's on it, and I blended it all the way to about here in my eye. I also lined my waterline with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Black Bean, and set it with Soda Pop with a e.l.f. smudge brush. Then I took this brush right here with a little bit of Soda Pop, and I put it on the outer corner of my eye, bringing it in just slightly, just mimicking the same thing I did on my my lid. Once I was done with that, I took this brush right here with a little bit of Jaclyn Hunt's on it, and I held it straight up like this, and I helped blend all the colors together just like that. And once I was finished with that, I took my Wet n Wild blending brush with a little bit of Made for Each Other and Silk Cream, and then I just blended underneath just to make sure we have no harsh lines. I'm going to take this brush right here with a little bit of Beam and In Light, and I'm going to highlight my inner corner, and I'm going to bring it right underneath of my waterline because it really helps open up my eyes. So last thing to do for my eyes is I'm going to have to put mascara on my lower lashes, but I like to set my face first because I have long lower lashes and I'll get little dots and I don't like that, so I'll set my face and then I'll put my mascara on last. So next we're going to be doing lips, and I'm going to be using the Paleto, I don't know how you pronounce that, lip liner in the shade Natural, and I'm just going to line my lips. I'm going to take NYX Lingerie lip cream or liquid lipstick in the shade number 7 Satin Ribbon. And I'm just going to apply that on top. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And please feel free to share and comment on this video. And I'll see you guys for the next tutorial. Bye guys. Oh, I almost forgot to set my face. And welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing another DIY video. I got this idea a couple months ago when I was in Charlotte Russe, and I wanted a new baseball hat, and it was black with like the two little pom-poms that sit at the top, but that hat was literally like $18, and I didn't pay $18 for a hat.